But yeah, I got Lakers in 6.
I got Phoenix in 7. I mean,
Woo!
Let me put you on game.
Let's go. Let's go into our predictions. Where you want to go, man? You want to go west or east first?
Let's start off in the East.
Okay.
I think that, starting off at the top, you have Philadelphia versus Washington. I got Philly in 5. How about you?
Yeah, I had Philly in 5. It's tough. It's mostly I mostly had them in 5 because I don't think the Wizards have an answer for Joel Embiid. As a Bulls fan, I've seen Daniel Gafford, man, and he's a great energy player, but I don't think most players do, but I don't think he's necessarily the matchup for Joel. Maybe if they still had Thomas Bryant, he might be able to help with a little bit more size in the post, but yeah, Joel is he's about to eat, man.
Yes.
And Philly has all kinds of diverse wing defenders, so it's going to be as hard as it can be on Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, but they'll be able to make it difficult. So guys like Simmons and Matisse Thybulle will be tough matchups. So I give the Wizards a game, but
yeah, we know what time it is in Philly.
Tough cookie.
Yeah. What you got from Milwaukee and Miami?
This is interesting. I got Bucks in 6.
Okay. Yeah. I got same. I think that
we
Miami.
need to stop thinking so much alike. The downside of having a podcast with your best friend is we can't be the same on all of these.
Basically, we're too reasonable. We got to start taking hot takes. I got to be, Max
on your Skip Bayless.
Yeah. I got Milwaukee in 4. I think they're gonna sweep the Bucks. No, I think that Milwaukee is the stronger team. I think that although I feel like the Heat have come alive in recent weeks, I still don't know if they're strong enough. They didn't show me enough in the regular season for me to automatically pick them as a favorite in this matchup. But I think they got potential. And so, yeah, I got that's why I think they can get 2 games, but I think Milwaukee is still too strong. But at the same time, it all depends on if Giannis can consistently hit outside shots. If he can, it's Milwaukee in 6. If Miami's able to play stand-up defense, keep you out the paint, and Antetokounmpo can adjust, then you might see Miami in 7. So, but I still got Milwaukee in 6.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are a different team this year. I think you're seeing a lot more varied defensive coverages from them. They're switching up their defense a lot, which is something they didn't do last year. And I think you're seeing Giannis shoot a little bit better from outside. And he's also shooting better from the post in terms of posting up, which is something that he needed because, driving and dunking isn't always going to get it done. But also just the addition of Drew Holiday. I think that'll make a difference. But this is one of the hardest ones to pick because if Miami won, I honestly wouldn't be surprised because they've had Giannis's number. Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
It takes a Nigerian to beat a Nigerian, If you guys didn't know, I'm talking about Bam Adebayo versus Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, he's born in Greece, but by way of Nigeria. Let's not forget, all right?
Yeah. Joe Loft strength versus Joe Loft strength. We'll see who has more. Yeah. What do you got for Nets Celtics?
Nets Celtics, I got Nets in 4.
Okay, we're different.
Yeah.
I have Nets in 5.
I don't think Boston has a chance, bro.
Maybe with Jaylen Brown, they might be able to get 2 games, but without him, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, it's gonna be very rough. Tatum is gonna put up his numbers. I think it's legit. The Nets are probably gonna average between probably like 125 points a game, and they're gonna just be able to throw so many bodies at Boston, and I just don't think Boston has enough ammunition to keep up. So it's gonna be a quick series.
Yeah. Well, okay. This is the interesting one for sure. So, excluding your fandom, Knicks and Hawks. What's your prediction?
So excluding my fandom, I probably would say Knicks in 7, but with fandom in mind, I got Knicks in 6. So
Okay,
Knicks in
that's
6 is my
fair.
official pick.
Okay, so we're the same. We're the same. I
Okay.
think it's gonna. I still have to see Trey Young in a playoff situation to
Mhm.
see what's gonna happen with him. And the Hawks ain't got nobody for Julius Randle, so I don't think John Collins is gonna be able to stand up to him. And I think you're gonna see a good series from somebody like Derrick Rose, especially if he's being covered by Trey.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be tough for the Hawks because I think the Knicks are built for the playoffs
Right.
because the playoffs slow down so much and defense becomes so important and half court offense becomes so important. That's the Knicks specialty. They're not a running gun team. They're half court, slow it
Yeah.
down, grind it out. And I think that the Hawks may not be, well suited for that. So that's my
Yeah.
pick.
I do have Trey Young being a high volume, but also an efficient scorer in the series. And that's where he could either lift up the Hawks or potentially hold them back because the continuity in offense might be a little troublesome depending on, how he shows up. But I do give the Hawks the edge when it comes to rebounding. Clint Capella is a beast on the boards. And so although they don't have an answer for Julius, I don't know if we necessarily have an answer for Clint Capella. Um, that's why I'm hoping that the Knicks actually start Frank Ntilikina, let Frank Ntilikina get the start to bottle up Ice Tray. He can get into foul trouble. Then you bring in Alfred Payton to kind of also guard him, and I think they're gonna probably maybe double team him a little bit, or at least just make it hard for him. And I think so they'll probably start
Yeah.
off with single coverage with Ntilikina, and then if necessary, start doubling him. Um, but I still think that the Knicks can grind it out. They have enough bodies defensively and just enough offensive efficiency to beat a team like the Hawks consistently.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't say this is one of those series that can go either way. It wouldn't surprise me if the Hawks were to win because they have so many weapons
Yeah.
and they're better coached with Nate McMillan. He's been able to get more out of that roster this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to see. I think RJ is going to be a big key to the series. If RJ can
Mhm.
have a good, efficient series from the field, it'll make a huge difference for the Knicks chances of success.
Facts.
Let's move to the Western Conference. How are you feeling about how are you feeling about Jazz Grizzlies?
I got Utah in 4. I mean,
Okay.
I think Ja had his coming out party, but Donovan Mitchell has been doing his thing in the league for a while now, and Utah's team is so stacked, it's kind of scary.
Mm,
Um, their shooting is insane. You have Bodan Bogdanovich, you have Joe Ingles, you got Donovan, you got O'Neal, as well as Jordan Clarkson. All of these wing dudes that can defend and can just shoot the lights out. Then you got
yeah.
Gobert in the paint, so Valanciunas isn't gonna have as easy a time rebounding and just beating people down. And so you just have a very diverse and powerful offense that is led by Mike Conley, along with a strong defense to boot. I think that it's just going to be an overwhelming matchup for anybody, especially an inexperienced Grizzlies team. So I got Utah in 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you on that. I gave the Grizzlies a game, so I got Jazz in 5. I
Mm.
think that Jazz gonna have at least one big game to keep them in it. And Dylan Brooks can be really inefficient sometimes, but I think he'll catch fire for one of
Mm.
these games. Hopefully those games sync up so I can get my correct prediction.
Mm.
But we'll see. What about Nuggets Blazers?
This is where things get interesting. I think that the Blazers with Dame time and the Nuggets not having Jamal Murray is going to matter. I don't know if Michael Porter Jr. is there yet as a secondary option. And so I have it being a hard fought game, but Denver in 6. It wouldn't surprise me if it went 7 games though, but I
Mm,
think Denver can pull it off and win in 6. Um, because the Joker is just that good. You know,
yeah.
he's having an MVP season. So if he's the MVP, he should be able to pull off this game against a very hungry and powerful Portland team.
Yeah. I got Nuggets in 7. I
Okay.
think it'll be a tough series, especially without Jamal Murray. But I do like Michael Porter Jr. I think he's had a really strong end of season once Jamal Murray went out. I think he's proven that he's probably going to end up being a viable second option for their team. And I think
Mhm.
this is his chance to show it. I think he got a good amount of playoff experience in the bubble last year. So hopefully that translates to this year, but it'll be tough to put Dame out. So again,
Yeah.
this is one of those series that can go either way, but I'm tentatively picking Nuggets in 7.
Yeah.
uh Clippers, Mavs. I've got Clippers in 5 since I'm not quite sure about Kristaps and what
Mm.
he's going to be able to bring. I think Luka will ball out because Luka is just Luka.
Yeah.
So, and I think the Clippers are probably better put together than they were last year. So we're gonna be kind of counting on playoff P to live up to that name. So we'll see how that goes. What about you?
I think I got actually Clippers in 6. I think
Okay.
Dallas has enough to get at least 2 games out, same as they did in the bubble. But I think for me to have seen to see to me the Clippers have to prove it. You have to prove to me beyond a reasonable doubt that you guys can actually win the championship because they just haven't shown the fortitude as of yet. They did have a better season, regular season, but at the same time, they're still not the greatest when it comes to down the stretch. 3 minutes left, who has the ball in their hands and who's actually able to make the shots to get them over the hump, who's able to allow the offense to have better continuity. They still have really, really good shooting. And so that's probably going to be the difference. And the Mavs are allergic to defense. So and so I think that the for the Clippers to win in 5, it's probably going to have to be a blowout each game. But if the games are close, I think the Mavs can actually at least sneak a couple out. So Clippers in
Okay.
6. Yeah.
Got you. Um, let's close it out with Suns Lakers, one of the most interesting series in the entire playoffs because
Yeah.
I think most people at the beginning of the season would have thought that the Suns would have been the 7th seed and the Lakers would have been
Mm,
the number 2 seed. So it's
yeah.
completely flipped. The Lakers have a lot of issues when it comes to health and continuity, and the Suns are rolling, but they're also unproven as a team. This is their first
Yeah.
season playing winning basketball. They had that little run at the end of the bubble, but this is their first full season actually playing real winning basketball and becoming finals contenders. So it'll be interesting either way, either result, but I have Lakers in 6. Makes my
Okay.
stomach hurt a little bit. But yeah, I got Lakers in 6.
I got Phoenix in 7. I mean, well,
Woo!
nah, I'm
got,
kidding. I got Lakers in
okay,
7.
okay. It's like you jumping out the window, but yeah, all right.
Yeah. Now I think that Phoenix actually has a chance if they're able to win the first game, or at least take 2 out of the first 3 games. I think Phoenix
Yeah.
has a chance. But if they have any kind of sloppy games within the first 3 games, Devin Booker's not able to show up offensively or is inefficient offensively, and Chris Paul isn't able to get them to right the ship, and or has another, tweaks another hamstring or hurts his foot or something. They're just that they have that much margin of error where I think they can actually beat the Lakers. But if the Lakers just start to get into the groove of things and clamp down defensively like they're very capable of, I don't actually see the Suns being able to beat the Lakers. I think the Lakers are too strong. I think
Yeah.
LeBron is still too strong. Defensively, Michael Bridges can't do anything to LeBron. I mean, he will maul that that
Don't
twig.
don't 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 sell my man Mikal Bridges short, man. He's a really good wing defender. He's a smaller guy, but I think he'll at least be able to bother LeBron from the perimeter. But of course, LeBron's gonna do his, tween behind the back crossover right into the post up, and might be rough. I think DeAndre Ayton is gonna be a key to the series as well. I
Yeah.
think the Lakers are going to have to play big to deal with him. You didn't see many minutes from Marc Gasol
Hmm.
during these playing games, but you'll have to see Mark play. You'll have to see uh, Andre Drummond play in order to deal with DeAndre Ayton. So, wow, that'll be interesting. But yeah, that's series. I think that series and Knicks and Hawks are probably my two uh, favorite series that I'm looking forward to watching. But
Okay.
we're gonna do round by round breakdowns. I've been writing down all of our results over the course of our conversation. So we'll reconvene at the end of the first round and we'll see who has the most correct predictions as far as teams and games. Uh,
Yeah.
and we'll do that round by round. Uh, but you guys, yeah, interact with us. Shoot us an email. Tell us where you think that we may have gotten it wrong or what teams you may have picked instead of the ones that we picked. But let's close it out with a finals prediction. Who do you have as your two teams in the NBA finals this year?
So I have the New York Knicks going against the Utah Jazz.
You for real?
Nah, let me.
Like, I'm like, I already like got super excited when you hopped out the window when I thought you picked Phoenix, but I didn't
Nah,
want to give you too much. Okay, so what's your real pick?
Now, on the real though, I got Brooklyn going actually up against the Jazz. I don't know, to be honest, I hate to be this person. And I want to go with the champions until they've proven otherwise. But I just don't think that the Lakers are going to be able to grind it out this postseason. I think at some point Davis and or LeBron might break down again. And if that just happens, it's probably going to be a wrap. LeBron
Okay.
isn't 100%. His springs aren't what they used to be at not even earlier this season. And if they're
Uh-oh.
not able to right that ship health wise, they're not going to be able to make a deep playoff run. So it really remains to be seen. And I think Utah is just the strongest team in the West. They have so much talent that I don't see any team being able to really topple them. And then it's the same thing on the other side in Brooklyn. You have a really strong Nets team that's going to get into their groove. And I think they're going to put up ungodly numbers, at least offensively, and play just enough defense to keep teams at bay. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Utah versus Brooklyn. What you got?
Yeah. I'm not in the habit of betting against LeBron James. He's been to the finals every year that he's been healthy for pretty much the last decade. So even though things look a little rough with the Lakers right now, it's hard for me to start betting against him because LeBron is almost like the individual counterpart to the San Antonio Spurs. Like, how many times did we say like, I don't think the Spurs got it this year. They're a little too old. And they find a way to make it to the Western Conference Finals. If I don't find a way to make it to the actual finals or win the finals. So with LeBron, I think there's been so many times where we've said like, I don't know. I don't know if he looks like he has it this year. He might be a step slow. His vertical ain't as high. He ain't jumping out the gym anymore. He's not this, he's not that. And then we gotta eat crow every summer. So I remember my dad saying that like I don't know if LeBron has it anymore, and this is like 2017. So 4 years later, like I'm still not in the business of betting against him. So
Yeah.
I feel you on the Lakers. I don't feel good about making the pick, but I'm gonna have to go Lakers in the finals. And I have them going against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay.
I think this could be Giannis's year. I hope it is for his sake, because I
Yeah.
think we get into this narrative with players when they don't succeed that they don't have it or they don't have this, or they don't have that. And I do think that he has a chance this year to kind of put that to bed because
Right.
he's had a couple rough playoff series in the past, and I think that this is his real chance to rectify that with the addition of Drew Holiday, like we discussed, and a couple of other good pieces and changes to hopefully Mike Budenholzer this postseason can make the necessary adjustments against the Heat and against whatever other competition they have to go against, because they have a rough road. They have a really rough road to the finals.
Yeah.
But this is another pick where I feel a little queasy about it, but I can't bring myself to. I'm unsure about Philly still,
Mhm.
because I'm unsure about what's going to happen with Ben Simmons in terms of his despite how great he is at everything, his lack of shooting, I still don't know how that's going to play into it when things get into the nitty-gritty, despite how great of a defender and a playmaker he is. And we, Joel Embiid, I think he'll be great, but I just feel unsure about Philly. And then with the Nets, I don't think we've ever seen a team get thrown together the way they have, not have any real time playing together, and then have postseason success. Like they've played a handful of games together, so it's hard for me to make the leap into saying they're going to win the NBA Finals or be a Finals team. But yeah, that's my pick. Begrudgingly, is Milwaukee versus LA. But let us know if you're watching on YouTube in the comments what your picks are, or shoot us an email and let us know what you think about the NBA playoffs. It's going to be a fun one, regardless of who's right and who's wrong. So